Since our class is going to be using a workbook from Against the Clock Publishing, this video is going to show you how to register your book so that you can download all of the project resources that we'll be using this semester. The first thing to note is that these workbooks are updated every year, so make sure you have the appropriate software that it's covering and the appropriate year version that's going to be used this semester in your class. If you have any questions whether or not you have the appropriate one, talk to your teacher to make sure yours is correct. You can use either the print version of the book or the digital ebook version of your book. Both are acceptable to be used. If you're using the ebook version of your book, you'll be able to download it from an email that'll be sent to you. Make sure you've got an appropriate ebook reader that'll allow you to open it up. For me personally, I use Adobe Editions. Also, take note that this should be downloaded on your own personal PC or tablet. Don't download these books to any of the computers that are on campus or in the Mac lab. Also inside of this email is a resource code that you'll use to register your book, so make sure to hang on to this email. Now, if you've purchased a used book that's been previously registered in the past, there's a good chance you'll also need to purchase a replacement file code. These don't cost very much, and these will give you access to all of the file resources that we have. So if you have any problems accessing the resources, this is probably the first thing that you may need to purchase. To get started, go to againsttheclock.com. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and sign in and create a new account. You'll simply need your first and last name, your phone number, and email. You can count yourself as a student. If it asks for the version of the software, simply type in the current year, and you can have MC as your school that you're attending. Continue stepping through to create a new account, and once it's been created, you can go back to sign in and sign in properly. Once you've signed in, to register your book and download all of the resources, go up to My Account and choose My Account and Files. Now, since I'm an instructor, my account page is going to look a little bit different from yours. But as a student, you should have a tab that says Get My Student Resource Files, and from here you can select the title of your book. Now, depending on the class you're in, yours may be slightly different. You may either have a custom book, but if you're in my intro class, you can choose graphic design as your title and select the current version that matches your book. From here, this is where you can type in the printed code that's either on the back inside cover of your physical book or in the email of the ebook that you can download. Make sure to type in the code exactly as it appears, and you can click Submit. Once it's submitted and registered, you can go to the Download My Student Files tab and download the zip file for the book that you have. Now, if you've registered other books will also show up down here as well. Note that this zip file is going to be very large because it contains a lot of graphic files that we'll work on. And there's two folders inside of it. The RF files folder are all of the different projects that are covered in the textbook. The PB file folders are the portfolio builder folders. As you work through the textbook, your instructor will tell you which files that you'll open and what to do with them. Now, if you're working on a computer in the Mac lab, go ahead and drag all of these folders into a folder with your name on it. From there, that's where you'll access each of the different files for the projects as we work on them. If you're on your own personal PC, make sure to save these in a place where you can find them and quickly get to them. The final thing I'll point out are all of the fonts that can be used and installed on your computer. If you're working on your own personal computer, I highly recommend downloading and installing these fonts. If you're working on a computer in the Mac lab, you won't have to do this. Locate the Fonts tab and choose the ATC Open Type Fonts. Again, this will be a zip file that you can download and uncompress. Once the file is opened, you can see all of the different fonts will be inside of their own folder, and to install the fonts depends on the type of operating system you have. If you're working on a Macintosh, it's as simple as double-clicking on the font, and this will open up your font book that allows you to install the font. Or if you're on a Windows computer, you can follow your system's instructions from there. And that's it. That's all you have to do to register your book. If you do have any trouble or issues, make sure to talk to your instructor so that you can work out exactly what you need to get access to these resource files.